Hey guys, today on People Now, Michael Jackson accusers open up about alleged abuse. We'll tell you what they're saying.
Ariana Grande responds after criticism for her upcoming concert in Manchester. We'll explain.
Will you go there with him?
I hope that's not a decision I have to make.
Teresa and Joe say it ain't so, and Puppygate roars back. From Jersey to Beverly Hills, we've got all the juicy drama from the Real Housewives.
Plus, Kristin Cavallari is giving us her expectations for the Hills reboot and season 2 of Very Cavallari.
It's all live today on People Now. Let's go. Good afternoon. Welcome to People Now. Great to see you. Thanks for coming back. Happy Throwback Thursday, too.
Yeah, and tomorrow's March. Can you believe it?
Oh, my goodness. Music to our ears,
yes,
right?
So excited.
We just bring the warm weather back. To celebrate Throwback Thursday, we're giving you a sneak peek of this week's episode of People TV's Couch Surfing a little bit later on in the show.
It's a good one. This week features Anna Paquin. So in honor of her appearance, we want to know, what is your favorite Anna role? Are you a True Blood fanatic? Maybe you loved her in X-Men. The Piano is a good one.
So many good ones,
actually. Won an
actually,
Oscar for that role when she was just 11 years old. And of course, there's Almost Famous. So vote in our poll or just tweet us your answer with the hashtag PeopleNow.
We'll check in on those results in a little bit, and we're going to take a look at Anna on Couch Surfing in a little bit as well. But for now, here's what you need to know, what's trending today. We're beginning today on a serious note. Just before the release of the HBO documentary Leaving Neverland, which comes out this Sunday, 2 men accusing Michael Jackson of sexual assault appeared on CBS This Morning on Thursday. This is just one day after members of the Jackson family appeared on the same morning show to vehemently deny the allegations against their brother. James Safechuck and Wade Robson sat down with Gayle King to discuss details of their allegations. Take a look at this.
As Michael started doing these sexual acts, he started talking to me about God brought us together. We love each other, and this is how we
love each other.
We love each other, and this is how we show each other our love.
James, you're nodding in agreement to what he's saying. Tell me what happened to you.
He introduced me to masturbation. He said I taught him how to French kiss. And then it moves on to oral sex.
Some really explicit revelations. Safechuck explained that as his relationship with Jackson allegedly became more physical, the singer told him that he was his first. As a child, he says he had no understanding of what that meant. Safechuck, who is now 40, says he first met Jackson on the set of a Pepsi commercial. They appeared in it together. He called that experience otherworldly. Now, Robson, who is now 36 years old, described his early infatuation with the pop star, admitting he dressed himself and styled his hair to look like Michael Jackson after he discovered Thriller. Robson alleges that Jackson slowly developed a physical relationship with him, but at first, he says it felt fatherly. Robson recalls first visiting Jackson's Neverland ranch after he was invited with his family, and that when it was time to leave, he says he started crying and alleges that Jackson did the same. Eventually, his parents allowed him to stay behind for an extra week alone with Michael Jackson while they traveled to the Grand Canyon. Robson alleges that things became physical with Jackson within the first 2 days that he stayed there alone. He alleges that eventually, mild touching turned into oral sex. In 2005, Robson actually served as a witness when Michael Jackson was charged with multiple counts of child molestation. On the stand, Robson denied ever having sexual interactions with Jackson, and many credit Robson's testimony for Jackson's acquittal. 12 years earlier, in 1993, another boy accused Jackson of abuse, but at that time, both Robson and Safechuck denied being molested by him, and the case was settled out of court. But Robson told CBS that he was scared at the time and that the mental grooming began when the alleged abuse began. It's only now that he's really ready to share that experience with the world. Take a look at this.
The training, Michael's training of me to testify began the first night that he started abusing me. He started telling me that if anybody else ever finds out, we'll both go to jail. Both of our lives will be over.
Robson tells CBS that he regrets not speaking out at the time, but he's glad that he is now. The two accusers also believe there are more victims who have not come forward. In an interview Wednesday on CBS This Morning, Jackson brothers Tito, Marlon, and Jackie, as well as Michael's nephew Taj, criticized the HBO documentary as a misrepresentation. They also denied Robson and Safechuck's allegations, calling them opportunists and liars, and that Jackson was never sexually abusive or inappropriate with children. More on all this on People.com. All right, Ariana Grande is responding to some criticism over her upcoming performance at the Manchester Pride Festival. The singer announced on Twitter Monday that she would be headlining the annual LGBTQ celebration. She wrote, "Manchester babes, I'm so thrilled to be headlining Pride. My heart. I can't wait to see you, and I love you so, so much." But some fans weren't exactly thrilled about that announcement. One Twitter user saying Ariana headlining Pride when she's straight, as far as we're all aware, and doubling the price of tickets kind of smells like exploitation of the LGBT community to me. That was that tweet. And on Wednesday, Ariana addressed the issue, posting a lengthy message that reads in part, "I have nothing to do with the ticket pricing. Manchester Pride sets those rates and they're mostly out of my control. The LGBT community has been so special to me and supportive through my entire career. I do think there's room for us to talk about these issues without equating a performance for an LGBTQ audience with exploitation of the LGBTQ community. I just want to put on a show that makes my LGBTQ fans feel special and celebrated and supported. That's all I want to do." That's Ariana's quote. Ariana holds a special place in her heart for the town of Manchester after a bomber killed 20 people and injured over 500 during an Ariana Grande concert back in 2017. Ariana postponed her Dangerous Woman tour following that attack to pay respect to the victims that she returned to that English town then 10 days later to perform in the One Love Manchester concert benefit. This year's Manchester Pride Festival will take place from August 23rd to August 26th. We'll see how all that pans out. Well, some big news here. Actor Luke Perry has reportedly suffered a stroke. People has confirmed that he's currently hospitalized. According to TMZ, paramedics responded to the Riverdale star's home in Sherman Oaks, California at around 9:40 a.m. Wednesday. The call reportedly came into the fire department for someone suffering a stroke, and Perry was then transported to a nearby hospital. TMZ also reports that his condition is currently unclear. A rep for Perry tells People that he's currently under observation at the hospital. People has reached out to the Los Angeles Fire Department for comment, and People also reached out to the CW for comment. Now, Perry stars as Archie's dad, Fred Andrews, on the CW's Riverdale, and had been reportedly shooting episodes recently for the series on the Warner Brothers lot in Los Angeles. Now, this news comes after the announcement that a Beverly Hills 90210 revival is currently being planned for this summer. Luke Perry, who starred in that original series as Dylan, had reportedly not signed on to participate in that reboot. But most of the original cast is signed on to the project, including Tori Spelling, Jason Priestley, Jenny Garth, Brian Austin Green as well. It'll be a 6-episode limited series simply titled 90210. Also absent from the reboot is Shannon Doherty, but sources say the door is always open for her and Perry to join if they want to. Here's the official description of that show. The core cast will all play heightened versions of themselves in a brand new serialized drama with a healthy dose of irreverence that's inspired by their real lives and relationships. Now, the iconic show premiered on Fox in 1990, ran for 10 seasons. It inspired the spinoffs Melrose Place and Models Inc., as well as a 90210 reboot in 2008. That one ran for 5 seasons. So we're excited for that one to come along, and we wish the best to Luke Perry as well. Royal Watchers, this one is for you. Take a look at this.
Let's go, kids!
Kate Middleton knows how to get the party started. The Duchess of Cambridge was spotted laughing, having a great time while pulling pints in Belfast, Northern Ireland on Wednesday night. Yes, that is right. Kate showed off her bartending skills alongside her husband, Prince William, during a party at Empire Music Hall. The crowd laughed. They cheered her on as she tried her best to pour their drinks. It looks like she's having a blast there. I mean, I like seeing them in this more kind of pared down and fun environment. Kate and William arrived in Northern Ireland Wednesday for a surprise 2-day tour to celebrate young people who are making a difference in the country. Before pulling pints, the couple visited Roscoe Youth Village, where they had a full day of soccer drills, kayaking, and other fun outdoor activities. And on day 2, the Royals had a pretty enthusiastic welcome. Check this out. Those kids are so cute. They're cheering on William and Kate as they made their way to their next stop in Ballymena. The couple will spend the day meeting with organizations that are working to create a bright future for the next generation. William and Kate's visit comes after a week off from their royal duties to spend time with their 3 children, Prince George, Prince Charlotte, and Prince Louis. I'm glad they get the time off.
Yeah,
for
it
the
looks
kids.
like she was just having so much fun behind the bar.
Enjoying the time away, I think, too. All right, more for us in Star Trek.
Yes, we are kicking off Star Trek today with the Oscar-worthy chemistry we've been thinking and talking about all week. Lady Gaga sat down with Jimmy Kimmel on Wednesday and clarified her real-life relationship with her A Star is Born co-star Bradley Cooper once and for all. Take a listen.
People started saying like, "Oh, they must be in love."
Yes. People saw love, and guess what? That's what we wanted you to see.
Yes.
You know, I mean, this is a love song, Shallow. The movie A Star is Born, it's a love story.
It's true, and the superstar went on to say that as performers, it was very important for her and Bradley to be connected the entire time. Take a look.
Look, I've had my arms wrapped around Tony Bennett for 3 years touring the world. I mean, like, when you're singing love songs, that's what you want people to feel.
Are you having an affair with Tony Bennett? Be honest.
No, I'm an artist, and I guess we did a good job, and fooled ya.
They fooled us. There you have it. They're just great artists, you guys. We can drop it, all right? Jeremy doesn't want to drop it. Moving on to this. Kim Kardashian West rocked an all-denim outfit on Wednesday night as she stepped out with her husband, Kanye West, for her bestie Jonathan Cheban's birthday. The celebrations took place at Nobu in Malibu. Kim opted to wear her hair long and wavy to complement her high-waisted jeans and matching one-shouldered denim crop top. I don't know about you, I'm kind of getting those Justin and Britney vibes circa 2001. I like it. Kanye walked in beside her wearing a camouflage print jacket over a dark shirt, pants, and black combat boots. Before entering the restaurant, the two shared a sweet moment caught by cameras. Kim leaned in for a little kiss, very sweet. Now the PDA should come as no surprise, as Kanye definitely proved he was capable of bringing the romance to another level on Valentine's Day. Remember, he hired Kenny G to serenade Kim in the middle of a room filled with roses. While the internet was a little divided on if it was cute or creepy, I mean, no matter what, it's a lot of work, right?
Cute.
A lot of effort. It's cute. And she loved it, and that's all that matters. Well, Kim and Kanye weren't the only ones to step out for Jonathan Cheban's birthday. Exes Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick also swung by Nobu on Wednesday for the festivities, even sitting next to each other during the party. These two are constantly proving that exes can be friends. Kourtney wore a very colorful turtleneck with very chic trousers. Scott kept it simple in a black sweatshirt, navy vest, and gray pants. Now, Jonathan documented the evening on his Instagram story, sharing a video of Kris Jenner, Kim, Kourtney, and the whole gang singing happy birthday as they presented him with a sushi cake. Now, if you follow him on Insta, you know he's a total foodie, so he must have loved this. Kourtney and Scott ended their 9-year relationship in July of 2015, but continue to co-parent sons Mason and Rain and daughter Penelope. Disick has been dating 20-year-old Sophia Richie since fall of 2017. Though their age difference initially raised some eyebrows, sources have told People that the Kardashians fully support the pair's relationship now. Glad they're all getting along. And those are your Star Tracks for today.
All right, stay with us, guys. We are breaking down everything you may have missed in Bravo Land this week with our Real Housewives recap. So much drama, so little time, but we've got the highlights. Plus, we're going to be joined live by Kristin Cavallari talking season 2 of her show, Very Cavallari, and a lot more. Stick around for that.
All right, in honor of Anna Paquin on this week's episode of Couch Surfing, we've been asking about your favorite Anna role in our People poll. Let's check in on the results. I'm curious about this one. I think it's gonna be True Blood, right? Yes.
Yeah, right.
Okay, but X-Men coming in second.
I think I completely agree. I would swap Almost Famous and The Piano. I would put Almost Famous above it.
Well,
just because that was my.
It's very close there.
Yeah, it is very close. We need 2 more votes to get it back over. Keep voting in the People poll, but now we move on to that sneak peek. Anna Paquin. She's the latest celeb. Surfing to take a look back at some of her most beloved performances.
And you know we had to talk about her time on the hit HBO series True Blood. Take a look.
Either we're all crazy, and after this airs, people with straight jackets are going to be coming and collecting us and taking us to some nice facility somewhere to figure out what's wrong with us.
Right.
Or people are going to be really into it. And, you know, they'll get what we all love about it.
And the latter was true,
as it turns out, yeah.
All right, and you met your husband,
I
Stephen
did.
Moyer,
I
on
did
the
meet
show.
him. Yeah.
Did you all hit it off from the start?
Well, they do chemistry reads with actors that have to play opposite each other. So you go and, like, you know, you're auditioning next to each other. I actually already had the job. And it turns out we had chemistry.
Wow.
So even blood-sucking vampires can find love, Jeremy.
Yeah, I missed that show. I can't believe that it's been so long. From past to present, though, Anna also gave us the details on her latest project, Flack, where she plays a publicist determined to keep her clients' lives in perfect order while her own life is actually falling apart. Check this out.
We always see male anti-heroes on television or in film. I love a poorly behaved woman who's got flaws and is okay with that.
And is smart and twisted and
diabolical and
in all the right ways.
And so you and your husband produced this,
Yes.
and I'm sure you both get sent tons of scripts all the time. What was it about this project that spoke to you?
Well, all of the things that you said about her being flawed and complicated as an anti-hero and being just not the typical female that we see, you know, as the protagonist.
I'm excited for this. Her character kind of seems like the Olivia Pope of entertainment.
Yeah.
Also so cool that she is producing with her husband, like they said, Stephen Moyer.
Yeah, you can watch Anna Paquin dive into a bunch of her other roles as well when Couchsurfing drops on PeopleTV this Friday. Now, guys, we move on to this. Watch.
So if he is deported and goes to Italy, will you go there with him?
I hope that's not a decision I have to make, but to like pick up my children and just move to another country, I don't think that would be good for my children. So, I mean, no, I probably wouldn't.
Wow.
Very revealing moment from last night's Real Housewives of New Jersey reunion part 2. We're going to get into everything Jersey and Joe related. Plus, we're breaking down all the Bahama drama with the ladies of Beverly Hills.
And here to dish on everything from the chic to the bleak within the Real Housewives world are People's Housewives experts, news reporter Dave Quinn, and joining us from LA, People TV producer Sam Bellica.
Woo! Sam, love the shirt. Give us the dish here.
It's my homage to Beverly Hills with the diamonds meets New Jersey with the sequins.
Love it.
Just 2 for 1.
Absolutely love it. Dave,
Live for it.
Let's dive into this. Did we see this news coming that Teresa and Joe that they would separate?
I think it's a yes and no sort of situation. You know, on one hand, Teresa has said in the past that she would move to Italy, that, you know, she is really standing by Joe's side throughout their entire legal problems. But on the other side, if you really have been watching, Teresa has been focusing much more on her independence lately.
Yeah.
She's been doing this bodybuilding competition. There's been rumors in the press that she perhaps has moved on with another man, even though she's kind of denied that.
Another suitor.
Another suitor. So I think that what's happening here is that Teresa is clearly focused on like understanding who she is in a world without Joe. He's been gone for 3 years.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to do. You know, you think about bringing your kids to a whole different country. Nobody speaks the language. That's a lot there.
Yeah,
So-
now Sam, what's your take?
So what I think is interesting is also in the episode, she said that she was angry at Joe, which again, we kind of saw in this season, but for her to blatantly say that, Teresa is someone who's been so closed off, especially about this. I mean, she freaked out at Jackie all season because she said something about Joe. So I thought that was kind of huge. And my theory is this has been something that's been weighing on Teresa. She knew she was going to get asked about this during the reunion.
Yeah.
So I think that is why she was maybe so on edge and maybe a little mean in these first 2 parts. I'd be really curious to see if she kind of has a load off in part 3 because she knows that her hot seat is over. I'm watching for that.
She was kind of mean. There was a lot of drama again between Teresa, Melissa, and Jackie. So let's take a look at this.
Yeah.
This is what I feel. You don't like her because she likes me. Point blank.
Thank you.
She's liked me since she came on the scene. You can't stand it. Why don't you just say it?
She came between us. I don't like that.
Between you and I?
Yes.
Did not come between you.
How? She
You
said
just
something about
can't
my
handle
husband,
it.
and you should have
between
backed.
us.
No, I don't.
You
But
suck.
this is the thing.
She does not.
I didn't understand one thing that was.
But Dave, what do you make of this? Do you think that Jackie's kind of come between Melissa and Teresa?
I think that Teresa thinks that, but I don't think that anybody could ever come between somebody else. You know, I believe that these women, and especially Melissa, she's her own person. She has her own perspectives in this matter. I believe that this show is really all about family, and we need this sort of drama to exist, and I think that Teresa is aware of that. So I think that she really comes into the show knowing that she has to have a little bit of conflict.
Thank you for translating that clip for me.
Sam,
You're
what do you
welcome.
make of the whole dynamic that we just saw?
What I loved, what specifically I loved about this was in episode 1 and 2 of the reunion, there's talks about the couches and where she should be sitting. And Teresa keeps saying, Melissa, you should be on my couch. And they're like, hey, and all the fans are saying, hey, we don't actually choose this, get angry at Andy. But my thing, I'm going to defend Teresa here, which I haven't been defending her for the rest of the episode, is what Teresa is saying, because I understand her language, as she says later in the episode. She's saying, if you would have defended me during the season, you would have been my ally, and then you would have been sitting on my couch because the producers would have done that. Because that's what the producers do. They put your allies on the couch with you.
Yeah.
So she's
Kind
speaking
of a
metaphorically.
statement,
It's very high thinking for Teresa. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and just the body language alone kind of tells you everything you need to know. All right, let's head on over to the ladies of Beverly Hills. They jetted off to the Bahamas where Puppygate came barking back into action. Let's take a look.
I'm your friend, Lisa. I wanted to shut it down, Dorit.
Lisa, why aren't you upset about this?
Oh, come on.
He's your employee. This wouldn't get out there if you didn't want it out there. This is like bullshit going to Teddy, bringing Kyle in. This sounds like a fucking setup. Are you kidding me? I'm not kidding you.
Woo. Very layered ordeal here. So, Dave, what do you think of Lisa Rinna's involvement in Puppygate? Because she wasn't initially involved in this.
Right, so I think this is a perfect example of be careful what you wish for. Lisa Vanderpump last season made it very clear that Lisa Rinna was not involved in the drama. She criticized her for it. She said, you are not really paying attention. Well, Lisa Rinna's paying attention now.
Yeah.
And she's turned her focus to Lisa Vanderpump. And like, I wish that Lisa Vanderpump maybe would have laid off Rinna because I think she came in here wanting to spice things up, and she clearly is doing that.
Yeah, so Sam, let's bring you into this. Talk to us a little bit about Lisa Rinna's place in this whole piece of the drama.
I fully agree with Dave. I think that Rinna, though, maybe thinks that her drama isn't going to be that severe. I don't think she thought it would lead to maybe a season of Vanderpump not talking to the other women. I mean, just the glee that she had when she did Lisa Vanderpump's accent was like so funny. An understated thing in that clip right there, I'm going off, but Kyle brought up a joke and she said, what about the dogs? She was the one that brought up the dog thing in front of Lisa Rinna. I think that's kind of understated, and I think that people aren't talking about Kyle's involvement in this. It could just be a joke, but that's something that people aren't picking up on. And then here you see Lisa Rinna learning about this. What's interesting, we're gonna talk about this whole condolence thing, I think, a little later, but right here, what you're watching is Lisa Rinna. This is the first scene after she finds out about Puppygate, and she says to all of the women, she says, let's get things off of our chest, any problems you have. She clearly wanted Puppygate to come out now.
Open it up.
Stir in the pot.
Yeah, stir in the pot. It was a stir, stir, stir.
Love it.
At the dinner scene at the end of the episode, a lot of back and forth. Then this happened. Watch.
I had no idea Teddy would be gossiping.
I never told a soul.
hold on a second. Was that the
Let me finish. Don't turn this around on me.
How did he tell you when he told you?
It doesn't matter how he
Okay,
told
all
me.
right.
It's how he told us.
Exactly. That is an agenda.
It's not fair to me, and I don't like being made a scapegoat.
Ooh, don't like being a scapegoat. Dave, what do you make of that?
Well, what you missed is that Teddy then storms away, and I live for a storm off. Every housewife needs to storm out of a scene.
It's a big
I
moment,
may
right?
storm out of this
It's a powerful
interview.
moment.
So,
Yeah, right.
Love that.
But I think really what's happening here is that we're starting to see a lot of the stuff unfold that's been happening behind the scenes. So there's been conversations going on about kind of how they produce reality TV, and they're starting to break the fourth wall. Next week, it gets even worse, where we start seeing some of the texts that were going on behind the scenes.
I like that they break it down. I think it's a smart move.
Sam, how do you think Lisa Vanderpump came off in this episode?
I'm sort of torn because I think a lot of viewers are thinking, you know what, like, oh, the ladies are, you know, coming off worse than they think. Lisa Vanderpump's a queen. I think that she came off more positively this episode than I really thought she would have, especially her moment bonding with Kyle Richards about their sisters and how you need to take care of family. But I also think it's weird that she's just silent and sitting back. I think that she's kind of enjoying the drama unfolding at this moment. I think Rinna's right. I think ultimately it goes down to, like, these are your employees and you could have shut this down. So what I'm excited about is everything we kind of knew about Puppygate in the news has aired already. Like, we didn't really know about the text, we didn't know about this thing, so everything that happens from here on out is kind of new and exciting.
Yeah, now, Sam, you mentioned this before, but let's talk about the moment earlier in the episode between Erica and Lisa Vanderpump. It's all centered around a condolence note that Erica sent to Lisa. Sam, break this down for us.
So there's two sides to this. I mean, so basically, Erica sent a condolence note after Lisa's brother died, and I understand why Lisa Vanderpump is upset. She's basically saying, Erica, I thought we were closer friends. But Erica, and she wants more from her, but Erica is like, how dare you basically make me seem to be a bad guy and come for me, I'm still supporting you. The thing is, Erica at one point says, this is a note that came from my heart. Later in the episode, we see her taking a picture of that note. You don't take a picture of a condolence note if it's so completely accurate. I mean, you're not gonna have the receipts if it's a private note that comes from your heart. Yeah. This whole episode made me want to push my yogurt away.
Okay, Dave's shaking his head. Where do you fall on this?
I don't know. I mean, listen, when you're dealing with Lisa Vanderpump, you take a picture, and Erica says it. You know, I'm married to a lawyer. I know how to kind of back myself up. Ultimately, I really feel this moment, you can't tell somebody how they can or cannot grieve, right?
Yeah.
So Lisa Vanderpump's going through something. She feels sad. She is entitled to say that she wants more support, but you also can't criticize someone from giving the type of support that they think they can give. It's a tough situation.
It is.
We're out of time. I'm so sad we didn't break down all the sunglasses in that. The sunglasses game was on point as well. We'll do that next time. Dave, Sam, thank you for being here. And tune in next week for our biggest recap yet. We'll have 4 Housewives episodes events to cover. Atlanta's back Sunday at 8, Beverly Hills Tuesday 9, New Jersey concludes Wednesday at 8, New York premieres Wednesday at 9.
Watch them all.
All on Bravo. Write it down, plan your week. Make sure to follow along.
All right, our guest co-host Mako and I also sat down with two queens from the new season of RuPaul's Drag Race. You got Shuga Cain and Honey Davenport. Woo. It was a blast. Take a look.
Are you ready for a show? 15 new queens, one new night.
Prepare for new looks. You know what that is? That is a mic drop.
I'm so excited! Season 11 of RuPaul's Drag Race premieres today on VH1. Joining us now are two queens from the new season, Honey Davenport and Shuga Cain. Thank you, ladies, for coming. You look amazing.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know. First, talk us through your outfits, right? Like inspiration, how long it took to get ready, all that.
So this is, I mean, it's a classic Shuga silhouette. I love a little flouncy skirt so I can dance around in this coat. This is one of my little performance outfits. Probably took me like an hour to get ready today. Well, an hour and 15 because I was on live chatting with the children this morning.
Oh, yes.
So it took me a little longer today.
I like how you say a little something. Meanwhile, it's a little silhouette. And Honey, what about you?
Well, I mean, I was feeling like serving like more natural, a little more like soft today. A little Halle Berry.
Yes. The pixie cut. How did you get your names? Because you've been performing and you guys have been doing this for a while, right?
Yeah, it's a funny story. I was named by RuPaul, sort of. I went to a book signing for Ru, and I had a dance group called the Hunties, and I asked her to sign my book to RuPaul's Working It, to the Hunties. And I guess she misheard me, and she wrote to Honey. And then our group broke up. And I was like, okay, well, I still kind of want to fill my fantasy.
Yes.
And so I was like, Honey. Just one.
That's amazing.
Beautiful name. All right, speaking of Ru, go ahead, yes.
Shuga Cain, I love candy. I'm a baker, so The Color Purple is my favorite movie of all time. So
yes.
Like Avery, I'm a singer as well. And growing up as a young kid, I looked up to Candace Cain. She's a New York entertainer that was here.
Legendary.
So like all these things came together and Shuga Cain was born.
Let's talk about the show. What was your initial reaction when you got the call that you had landed a coveted spot on the show?
Girl, I was at my sewing machine sewing, and I was making a leotard for that night of my show that night, and they were like, "Are you by yourself?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "You're on the new cast of RuPaul's Drag Race," and I crashed into my sewing machine, and I had a knot on my forehead like this. Boom. And then I went to my show that night, and I would randomly put in a random song to perform, and sobbed through the entire. It was The Middle by Zed. Not even a sad song. I just stood on stage and was crying the whole time.
That's amazing. Well, I missed the call. I was taking a nap. I was tired, and I was like, "What's this call?" And I was like, "Oh my God, it's LA." So I called her back, and she was like, "How you doing?" I was like, "I'm good, girl. Sorry, I took a nap. I needed to sleep, this and that." She's like, "Well, what are you gonna tell the people, that you took a nap when we called to offer you a RuPaul's Drag Race?" And I literally dropped the phone. I was crying, I was screaming, I was home alone. It was insane.
What a moment.
Yeah,
it is, right? But you can't tell people, right? So when you get the call, you can't share it with anybody.
Everyone was wondering why I was standing on stage at Posh, sobbing.
I know both of you want to win, right?
Absolutely.
I always feel like the winners are here. I mean, can we get a little tea on that?
New York City girl.
Yeah, New York
New York
girls
City
will
is
win.
legendary for snatching the crown. We
Yes.
like to keep it at home this time.
I love that. But what do you think separates you two apart from the rest of the crew?
You want to take that? Okay.
Go ahead, girl.
Well, my kind of drag, what I always say, describes my drag the best is I'm an activist. So my drag is not just for me. I'm a voice for a lot of people who don't have one. For a lot of people of color, for women, I stand up on the front line for those kind of people. And I think that that's one thing that I haven't really seen in a lot of the other winners. Somebody who's a fighter, who's not gonna take any crap until we're all treated the same.
I love that.
No, it's true. Obviously we have talent and we can turn looks and whatever, but it really does come down to what is it that sets you apart, right? And so I think one of the things for me is I grew up wanting to be a performer, and I did corporate for the longest time. I'm 40 years old, and so I kind of did a little performing and I gave it up. My whole thing is I want people to know it doesn't matter how old you are, what your background is, what you're coming from. You can follow your dreams. You just have to stick to it and want it and work for it. I gave everything up on a whim and was I quit my job. I'm gonna do drag.
Yes.
And I did it.
I want to talk RuPaul. So RuPaul won multiple Emmys, living legend. What was it like first time meeting RuPaul? and working with
A
RuPaul.
dream. It's insane. Like, to actually see her walk through the doors and hear her say, hello, hello, like,
right.
It literally was, I just screamed. I don't know what to do. Like, what to do? She's a doll.
For me, I truly gagged when she came to the door the first time, but for what really got me was when I turned around the corner for that runway the very first time and saw her face. I was like, huh, oh my gosh. Drag can look like that? Like, okay, I thought I was pretty.
Yeah. From the trailer, we see that there's a lot of fun celebrity guests that show up. We see Miley Cyrus.
Yes.
I love Miley.
Me
What was
too.
it like meeting Miley, working with Miley?
Girl. She's amazing. And we can't give away too much. You can tune in tonight.
Yeah.
But it truly was watching a performer who's so centered give performers going through this wild experience a little bit of knowledge to center us. I feel like she came in and did something no other judge ever did. Like, she talked to us in a way that, like, really, like, I don't know, for me, it was just like, girl, I can do this. Miley just told me I could.
Yeah. Yes. She just, it was so wonderful.
Was she kind of serious? Was she goofy?
Oh, girl, she's wild. You know she's wild. It's Miley. Like, she has a good balance of being, like, wild and silly, but then also really tapping into, like, you know, calming us and, like, you know, giving us some really good advice. And so, yeah, she's incredible.
A lot of balance there. Love that. Okay, so before we end, we need to ask you both who you would love to dress in drag and why. Yes.
I already know who.
You go first.
My fiance already knows. He just laughs at me. I would say Jake Gyllenhaal, only because he is beautiful and gorgeous, and I just need to meet him.
But what would you do? What would the style be?
Girl, I probably wouldn't even be able to do anything. I think I would turn him to Fish, honey. I want him in a nice bodycon dress, a beautiful Marcel wave, you know, something beautiful like that. But I
didn't put any thought into it.
So if you're watching this, Jake, you know, come find me, Miss Sugar Cane.
Before she becomes
too
famous.
Never.
What about you, honey?
I was thinking about this. We were like talking about it last night, and I think my big cousin is actually a celebrity. Lee Daniels. He's the producer of Empire and Star, and I really want to see what kind of, you know, Fish runs in the family.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to see what Lee would look like all dolled up.
Well, we could talk to you for years, but we have to go. So thank you for joining us, Honey and Shuga. Good luck. Catch season 11 of RuPaul's Drag Race Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern on VH1.
They were so fun.
You missed out, Jeremy.
I hope I'm here the next time.
All right, now take a look at this.
Welcome home, sweet girl.
Does Jay know yet?
Not yet.
Uh-oh.
Why is that animal here? Didn't you always want a llama? I thought that's what you said at one point.
How are you gonna take care of it?
Got food and water, man. I'm ready to go. Should we get her in the fenced-in area?
Knock yourself out. Lead her back there.
Come on, Pepper. Look how fun this is gonna be.
That's a little tease of season 2 of the Eve reality series Very Cavallari, starring Kristin Cavallari, her husband, former NFL star Jay Cutler, and the staff of her company Uncommon James. It's definitely a fun, drama-filled ride, and Kristin joins us now. Thanks for being here.
And starring a llama.
How's the llama doing?
It's a normal day in Nashville.
Just hanging out.
Just hanging out. So that was Caroline and Luke Bryan's llama. She let us babysit Pekka for a few days, so we don't actually still have her, but I do want a llama, I have to say.
How many llamas do they have?
They only have one llama.
Oh, that one.
But they have all, she rescues animals.
Yeah.
She's a charity, and they have all kinds of animals. They have the most amazing farm.
Toughest part of handling a llama day-to-day care?
You know,
they spit, right?
They do
Is that a myth?
spit.
Oh,
No, they
God.
do spit. She was actually very sweet, though, I have to say. Like, we put her in, we have this fenced-in area where all of our chickens and our goats and stuff
Right.
are. She just kind of fit right in and just hung out with the crew.
Just hanging out, just one of the
Great.
chickens.
Yeah.
So look, you obviously had reality TV experience prior to this show. Jay, not so much. And you said last time you were here that he wasn't necessarily such a fan of having the cameras around. How has that transition gone? And now second season, cameras still around?
Yeah, I think because he had such a positive reaction the first season, you know, day one shooting season 2, like, he came in hot. He was ready to go. You know, he'd been working on his jokes and like,
Oh, okay. Running some lines
yeah,
and
you know,
things. Okay.
I think he's having a good time and really embracing it.
It's like the crowd comes in.
Yeah.
Comedy humor or dad jokes? What's his go-to kind of joke?
No, he's just like very dry humor. And like, if you don't know him, you're like, is he kidding or is he not kidding? But like, no, he's definitely having a good time and giving you a hard, you know, like him giving you a hard time is his way of like showing you love.
I like that.
I love that sense of humor.
Yeah.
He's no longer playing football, so how is it having him around? around? How's that changed?
You know, it's good and bad. He's always around.
Give me some space.
Yeah, I leave, he's home. I come home, he's home. But I have to say, because Uncommon James has really taken off and I've become so busy, it's nice having him home so that he can pick the boys up from school. Or, you know, like right now, I'm here in New York and he's at home with the kids. He made lunches this morning. Like, he's doing the whole, he's Mr. Mom right now.
Yeah.
So it's been really nice.
Well, and you're very busy. You've got so much going on. How do you juggle all of it? What's your strategy?
I don't know. I think it changes day to day. I try to kind of stick to a routine. I'm home every single morning. I take my kids to school. I'm home every single night for dinner, unless, of course, I'm doing something like this. But I think that's just important to kind of give your kids a routine. And at that time is important to me as well.
Yeah.
I never work on the weekends. You know, it's like that kind of
Some sort of staple benchmark things.
Yeah. We've seen a sneak peek that Jay asks you for an allowance. So how does that feel to have a role reversal there?
I like it.
Yeah,
He's not going to get one, but I like that he's asking.
He gets nothing.
He gets nothing.
Unless he begs and takes care of the llama and the chickens. In season 1, we saw the stress of the launch, the store Uncommon James. What brings the drama this season, though?
Yeah, I mean, it's still, you know, with the success of season 1, it sort of catapulted Uncommon James to this next level. And so with that, just trying to keep up creates a lot of drama within itself, you know, within the company. And I have about 75 employees now, and majority of them are women. And so anytime you have a large group of women together, it's a lot of, you know, a lot of emotions.
It's like to keep things interesting.
Yeah.
You said it, I didn't.
So there's always some drama with a group of
Like, there's nothing wrong with being in tune with your emotions.
Nothing wrong with being passionate about the things involved in your life.
You moved to Nashville a couple years ago. I mean, anything you haven't gotten used to yet?
You know, I really love it, I have to say. We're about 45 minutes outside of the city, and like I said, you know, we have chickens and goats, and we're kind of living this farm life. And because I go to New York and LA, and I kind of get my little fix with that excitement, having that peaceful environment to go home to has been so great. Just having that balance, I really am thankful for it.
What's your favorite go-to thing to do on a weekend in Nashville?
We're always with our kids, so we usually take our kids to breakfast. We'll, you know, if it's nice, we'll be outside. We're outside all the time, but it just depends. But like, we are with our kids no matter what.
And you literally have so much space, so it's like they just go out and play.
Yeah, my boys will go on little hikes and go, you know, be adventurous.
That's great.
Do you ever see yourself maybe moving back to Laguna or to LA? Never.
No, I mean, and that's the thing. You know, my kids are in school. I'm not going to pick them up and move. They're really happy there. They're in public school. They're taking the bus. Like, they love that, and that's how I grew up, and so I want that for my kids. LA is a different beast, you know? I think it'd be very challenging to raise kids in LA and Southern California as well. I moved there when I was a freshman in high school, and it's just a very different way of growing up. Nothing wrong with it, but we like how we're raising our kids.
Yeah,
you know?
I like that, and definitely appreciate you for valuing that. The Hills, getting the reboot, you're not involved?
Yeah.
Will you watch?
Of course.
Yeah.
And I did get a little tea. You know, I saw Adrina a few weeks ago. It's going to be good. So I'm excited to see it just like everybody
Wait, who'd you get the tea from?
My girl, Adrina, you guys. I just saw her.
So you reached out. How is she feeling?
She's, I mean, it's probably more for her to answer. It's been hard on her.
Has it?
Yeah, it's extremely dramatic. And so, you know, she's hanging in there. But yeah, it hasn't been easy, she said.
It's also like all of a sudden back in it, right? Like, and everything that comes along with it.
Yeah.
A lot of scrutiny.
Like no time has passed, you know, it's like right back to all of that Hills drama. It's one thing when you're like 21, but I can't imagine going back to that again. I think it would be hard. So I feel for Audrina.
Well,
And, you know, she's a mom now, and it's
Right.
like, it's just your whole mentality has changed. So to be able to go back to that, I think.
Well, especially your show's so family focused and you have more control, and that's a very dramatic.
It's very
heavy
different.
show.
Yeah.
Do you think the other cast members are having the same type of like, oh my gosh, this is hitting us like a ton of bricks?
I think it's a mix of like really loving it and having a good time and being like, oh my God, this is so intense.
Yeah. Misha Barton being cast. That's pretty interesting. What'd you make of
It's
that?
like the two worlds colliding.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. There's a few people that are kind of random, but I think it'll end up being good. So I'm excited to see it for sure.
Yeah, what will Misha Barton add? I'm excited to see her. I'm going to tune in for Misha.
Yeah, of course. I think her and Adrina have sort of formed an alliance, which is always good to have someone in your corner.
Oh, really?
So that's what it sounds like.
I like that. Sounds like Survivor. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. You need someone on your
Okay,
team.
last thing though, who do you think will cause the most drama?
Stephanie Pratt.
Nah.
Word
Quick
on
and
the
easy.
street is Stephanie Pratt is sort of filling into the villain role.
Woo! Well, since you gave us all that dish, we figured we would reward you with a little game. We're going to play a game called Kristin Tells All. We have some questions here, a confession jar. Spill it all as you read the question. Here we go.
Okay. My most recent mommy oopsie. So Camden, my oldest, he's in kindergarten. He has show and tell every week, and sometimes we forget to, he's sick, so it's not like he's like, Mom, by the way, like I have show and tell tomorrow. Like
Right.
It's up to us to be like, what are you bringing in for the letter G? And so we've forgotten.
And at some point, it's like, okay, I don't know what to do for this letter. What do you do for X?
Yeah, right. My must-have makeup item, I am a mascara girl. I like Armani Lashes to Kill.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
Wait a second. We had a question from the control room. One of the ladies wants to know the key to not getting clumps in that mascara.
Get a good mascara.
It's all about the
Use
brands.
Armani and you'll be good.
There you go. Spend the cash.
Armani, you can send some my way. That's
Yeah, right, there you go.
My ideal date night, I'm such an old lady. I mean, honestly, like staying in and maybe just having a bottle. Oh, just a bottle of wine.
No big deal. Total full bottle tequila.
Just a casual bottle. Opening up a bottle of wine and just being in sweats. Like, I'm so lazy.
You know what I've started to embrace in my old age with family and kids? JOMO, the joy of missing out. It's just nice to
I'm
be
all
home.
about it.
Let me settle into my couch.
Exactly.
Jeremy loves that term.
I'm super fan of it.
know?
JOMO, maybe.
All right, my favorite haters slap back. I mean, honestly, like the older I get, the more it's just you have to ignore them. You just can't give them because what they want a reaction. You can't give them a reaction.
Do you ever block? Do you block or you just ignore it?
God, no. I don't even read comments on Instagram or anything anymore.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That was it.
That's all.
The big
hey, but
Do you ever respond to DM?
Yeah.
I have it set to only the people I follow.
Yeah, I think you have this Instagram thing down.
You have it down. Other than all that's going on, what are you most excited for as you look ahead? You got the years and months. You got all these different projects. You just did the Oscar stuff with the E.
Yeah, I'm just really thankful. Like everything right now is really exciting. Like my kids are in a really great phase. And Uncommon James is doing really well. I have Uncommon James Home and Little James. Little James is my baby and kids clothing line, which is really special for me because my kids are the fit models, and that's the only thing, quite honestly, that they care about. So that's really cool. So just getting those to the same level as Uncommon James.
Yeah, and by the way, break it into that market. That can't be tough, right? I mean, I've got kids. The competition is fierce, and I didn't even know that until all of a sudden I'm like, what is this whole world?
Yeah,
What's been the key to kind of like nailing a specific kind of individual unique look and vibe?
I mean, I think with everything I do, I'm sort of effortless, minimal, and so I want these pieces. Well, really, the whole purpose of me doing Little James was to marry both what mom and dad and kids want to wear because I find there's a huge
gap
difference.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and so I really do ask my kids' opinion. Like I said, they're the fit models. Like I really listen to them, and so if they want to wear it and I like it, I'm like, okay, hopefully this is a win.
Yeah.
So.
My girls would just be like bedazzled everything all the time, head to toe.
Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for
Congrats on
having me.
everything you have going on. And make sure to see the season 2 premiere of Very Cavallari Sunday, March 3rd at 10 p.m. Eastern on E!
We'll be watching. We're taking one last look at our People poll. We've been asking about your favorite Anna Paquin role in honor of her appearance on this week's Couch Surfing.
Let's see what you guys are saying. I think it goes to True Blood, right? Yep.
Yeah. Kristin, were
Do
you?
you have a favorite?
Almost Famous, you guys. That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Why is it coming
so
in
low?
last? What's going on?
I know, maybe because it's older. The kids need to watch it.
Come on.
Recency bias. All right, we'll be back with another question of the day tomorrow, so tune in for that.
And coming up tomorrow as well, Mae Whitman, Christina Hendricks, and Retta from NBC's Good Girls. They're here talking all things season 2 and taking a little walk down memory lane. It's hilarious. You're going to love it.
Plus, funny guy Avin Jogia is talking about his new comedy series, Now Apocalypse. Be sure to tune in for that. Thanks for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from Kelsey Grammer. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Grammer, and this is One Last Thing. My last family vacation was, now this is a little embarrassing, it was actually a working vacation. We took a cruise when we were shooting the film Like Father. The last thing that made me laugh out loud was just watching the kids and giggling. I mean, they are a constant source of entertainment, and they do make me laugh. My last moment of bliss was, honestly, with the kids again. I just, once in a while, I was sitting there watching television, and they were all climbing on me. And in that moment, I just thought, boy, this is everything I thought it would be.